Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with another conversation, and tonight we're talking about Elon Musk and Donald Trump's relationship. It seems that Elon Musk has worn out his welcome in the MAGA family. Now, if we all remember, let's go back to down memory lane for a little bit. Remember that Elon Musk donated over $280 million to the Trump campaign to help with Trump's reelection. Since that time, Elon Musk has amassed an unusual amount of influence in the MAGA movement and the Trump agenda. Now, this unusual amount of influence is not to the liking of most of MAGA. And I'll be quite honest with you, it's not to my liking either. Now, though I didn't vote for Trump, I do believe in rule of law, and I do believe in the sovereignty of our government and the leadership of our president not being usurped by anybody who is not duly elected by the citizens of the United States. Now, although I did not vote for Trump, he won the election. And by virtue of winning the election, he is the president-elect of the United States. And once he takes that oath of office, the weight of the country will be on his shoulder, the people we've elected to provide checks and balances in Congress, not Elon Musk. So, Elon Musk, we remember last week, Elon Musk stuck his fingers on the decision to shut down the government. Made it very clear that he wasn't pleased with the bill that the Democrats and Republicans had worked painstakingly hard curating and agreeing to pass. And once he decided that he didn't like what was in the bill, he made sure the bill was shut down. He made a tweet. Here's that tweet. And with this tweet, he basically made it very clear that the bill that was currently up for the vote was not the bill that should press forward. And then what happened? Donald Trump chimed in and agreed with Elon Musk. That created a firestorm of confusion, and Republicans, by listening to their two leaders now, their president and co-president, decided to tank the bill. Eventually, Mike Johnson, who's up for re-election, decided to move forward with a different version of the bill. It was Plan C, where they took out any type of debt ceiling increases and things like that, took out any type of special projects and things of that sort, and just move forward with a clean resolution. And that bill passed, and Elon Musk and Donald Trump weren't necessarily happy, but it did show that our elected officials do have a spine when they want to. Now, since that time, Elon Musk has come out in favor of H1B visas. Him and Vivek Ramaswamy being the head of this new made-up unit of government called DOGE. It's supposed to be a federal agency, but it's not. Congress has not approved it to be so, but it's called DOGE. And if you don't know what DOGE is, it's also a cryptocurrency that Elon Musk has pushed alongside Shiba Inu, another cryptocurrency. But DOGE is like the main one. It's grown in popularity over the years, and some people have already become millionaires off of Doge. I remember one gentleman knowledge his 401k into it a couple years ago, and right outside of the pandemic, when Doge went to almost 50 cents a share, he made a lot of money. That 50,000 turned into several million pretty quickly. So it definitely is a up and coming currency, and the name is kind of a play on that for those that don't know the connection. About saving money, they're talking about how they can make more money in their corporations. One of the ways they can do that is by having immigrants come over with special skills, albeit that work in STEM fields. Now, this is not to be confused with the H1A Visa. That's different. This is specifically for highly skilled individuals. That means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. If you have special skills and those are on that H1B visa, guess what you cannot do? You cannot complain. You can't talk to the manager. You can't do any of those things, because guess what? If you get fired, you go back to the country you came from. So it's on the one hand, it saves the company money, and it does allow an opportunity for foreign nationals to come into the country on a visa. But on the other hand, it disenfranchises, a lot of people believe, it disenfranchises American skilled workers because we're being skipped over so that the foreigners can come in and work for less money. Now, if you're a liberal, you like the idea of foreigners coming in, but you hate the idea that they can't bargain or they pressure because if they lose their job, they're going to be sent back they're going to be deported, essentially, if they don't find a job within, I think, 60 days after losing their original job. So if you're liberal, you probably hate that. If you're conservative, you hate it because they're taking jobs from American citizens. And that is the crux of today's MAGA movement. The whole reason that Donald Trump apparently was able to convince low information voters, working families, blue collar folks, even apparently Black folks, Latino folks as well, and young men to push and stand behind his movement is because he promised an era of opportunity, America first, America focus, and we would not be making things easy for foreigners. And that was very appealing to MAGA, especially the white nationalists of the flock, such as Steve Bannon and your Steve Millers, your Nick Fuentes, things like that. They loved it, and they marched and they campaigned and they did all the things basically saying, we are for mass deportation, close the border, no more visas issued to nobody, and no more jobs going to non-Americans. That was the mantra until Elon Musk. Elon Musk, after giving that $200+ million to the Trump campaign, feels like he's entitled to a say. And albeit, I'll be honest with you, if I had given over $200,000 to a campaign, $200 million, to a campaign, I would be swinging my dick too. You absolutely. Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna give that kind of money and not have a say. Now, we all know Elon Musk has some issues personally. He is an intelligent man, but he's also neurodivergent, meaning that he may be on the spectrum in some capacity. He ascribes Asperger's to himself. And we know that people who are neurodivergent in different capacities sometimes have issues with social cues. And Elon, I believe, is having some issues with the social cues. So what's going on is he's in the Trump circle too much. They're saying he won't leave. He's sticking his finger in things that he shouldn't be sticking his fingers in. When foreign leaders come around, he's interrupting phone conversations, providing his 2 cents when his 2 cents wasn't asked for. So let's take a look at this article here. So The Independent is reporting that Donald Trump is apparently annoyed with Elon Musk. And basically they're saying, let me make sure I have this right. The honeymoon period between Donald Trump and his best buddy Elon Musk may be coming to an end as the president-elect is annoyed at the world's richest person, according to a report. As the public rift deepens between Musk and Trump's MAGA allies in what Laura Loomer characterized as civil war. Laura Loomer, she's the girl who looked like what's that damn man? Jigsaw. She looked like She like if Jigsaw had a baby with an Italian and it was almost cute. Yeah, that's Laura Loomer. So Laura Loomer, and she's also a white nationalist. She says she characterized this as a civil war over H1B Visa. Sources told Medialite that Trump is getting tired of both the SpaceX owner's ubiquitousness and the media firestorm that follows him. 100% Trump is annoyed. A source who worked on Trump's re-election campaign told the outlet there's a Chinese saying 2 tigers cannot live on the same mountaintop. Now listen, if I was Trump, I'd be annoyed too. I didn't call you over here to do that. I knew you was going, I appreciate the donation, sir, but I'm the pastor. I'm the bishop. I'm the president, not you. Now look, I may not be a Trump supporter, but what I am an American. I am a patriot, and I love and believe in our rule of law and our Constitution. I believe in the sovereignty of our government and the leadership of the people we elect. And I look at it like this. I grew up in a Pentecostal denomination. Sometimes we would every so often have a vote to elect a new presiding prelate or bishop or a national organization. And there would be some churches that were more conservative that would want to make sure that the new leader was going to keep things as status quo. And then sometimes there'd be generational divides where younger people in the denomination wanted to see change. And not everybody won, and not everybody's favorite candidate for presiding prelate won. Sometimes you had a bishop that you didn't necessarily vote for, but you didn't leave the denomination. You just tried to find other ways to affect change from within because you were committed to the denomination, because you believed in the doctrines overall that it teaches and preaches. And that's the way I feel about America. I believe in the Constitution of the United States. I believe in the rule of law, and I believe in our sovereign government. And I do somewhat believe in American protectionism and American exceptionalism, because America is, not was, America still is the greatest country in the world, bar none. Whether you like it or not, everybody is breaking their neck to come and be an American or get a taste of what is called the American dream. Now, with that being said, I didn't vote for Donald Trump. Nope, not once. But I do believe that as the president-elect of the United States, it is his decision and his decision only as to what direction the country is going to go in. I think it is very disrespectful, very out of order, and very, very embarrassing when you have someone like Elon Musk sticking his nose in places that it's not supposed to be. Elon Musk, get somewhere and sit down. This is not your place. Now, he feels like him and Trump are bros and they're going to be hanging out all the time, or they go to Thanksgiving together, they're doing Christmas, they're doing New Year's Eve and all the things. And every time something comes up in Congress, Elon Musk puts his thumb on the business. And then next thing you know, there's confusion, chaos, and media outlets are saying clearly Elon Musk is co-president. I know for a fact that Donald Trump has to be annoyed. One thing about a narcissist, they're not going to allow somebody to steal their shine. It's just not going to happen, folks. So I knew that it was going to be a matter of time before Donald Trump was like, all right, now wait a damn minute. Now, I don't give a damn how much money you gave me. You're doing the most. And right now, Elon Musk is about to F around and find out what doing the most will get you when you think that you can tell Donald Trump what to do. I support Donald Trump putting his foot down, and even, listen, as far as I'm concerned, Elon Musk can go back to South Africa. Ain't that funny? A South African immigrant with a white face is trying to usurp authority from a duly elected Donald Trump, an American elected leader. Where do you do that at? Donald Trump was very clever and funny the other day when he was at a conference and he made this statement about whether or not Elon Musk would be the co-president. Take a look.
The new one is, President Trump has ceded the presidency to Elon Musk. No, that's not happening. But Elon's done an amazing job. Isn't it nice to have smart people that we can rely on? No, he's not going to be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe, you know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country.
Listen, I don't care what y'all say about Donald Trump. I didn't vote for the man. I would never have voted for the man. But the man is funny to me. Yo, he say the stuff that people be thinking, and we know better to say out loud, but he said it out loud. And I think that's kind of his appeal to a lot of his fans and followers. But he's absolutely right. Elon Musk will never be president of the United States because he's not a natural born citizen. I am very much tickled and very much hoping that Donald Trump does put his foot down and tells Elon Musk to have a seat. There is an issue that needs to be discussed when it comes to the H1B Visa program. Now, the program in and of itself is not all bad. I want to give you the facts. While the right and the left are fussing over whether or not the program is good or bad, these are indeed the facts. The H1B Visa program is not an easy process for employers to undertake. That program does require the employer to participate in a lottery system and make it clear to the United States Citizens Immigration Services division that runs that program, that when they bring on these H1B visa candidates, it will not adversely impact American workers. Now, according to the USCIS, which is the United States Citizens Immigration Services, that sponsor the program, this program does complement the American workforce because it does fill roles that Americans may not be qualified for, because some of these roles do require advanced degrees, like bachelor's degrees and things like that. And it also provides the ability for the company to hire workers that may have a different skill set than what is available in their current pool of candidates. And this is not because Americans aren't qualified in and of themselves, but we just don't have enough qualified people. Are there qualified Americans for these STEM roles? Yes. But are there enough to fill all the vacancies? No. The actual statistics are more than half, an alarming 54% of Americans have a below 6th grade education. Let that sink in. More than half of our country has an education at a 6th grade level or less. Of the other 46% of Americans, the minority in this conversation, that have an education above 6th grade, how many of them do you think have advanced degrees above 6th grade? So the program is necessary to fill vacant opportunities. But what can we do as Americans to change that? We need to really make large investments in our education system to be more interested in STEM education, sciences, technology, engineering, mathematics. You do that by also addressing economic concerns, food shortage, housing insecurity. All those things factor into how attentive you can be in class when you learn these complicated subjects. It factors in how much money you can have to attend programs that will deepen your knowledge in these arenas. There's a lot more to it than just we don't have enough engineers or we don't have enough STEM educated people. There's a lot of factors that have impacted those results. So while the program is useful, there are opportunities for us to not be so reliant on that program and create avenues and opportunities for Americans to develop those skills, so that way we can be more competitive, not just in America, but even be more competitive abroad. Right now, China is our biggest competitor when it comes to technology and infrastructure. They have speed trains that go over 300 miles an hour, and we couldn't even finish the Hyperloop. We got some work to do. While being the greatest country in the world, we have our work cut out for us, but it's going to take you and I together to make real change. Also, all American companies don't participate in this program. You can only bring in 65,000 people a year on the program, and there is a larger threshold where you can do an additional 20,000, but those additional 20,000 have to have more advanced degrees like masters, PhDs, things like that they get from U.S. institutions. And the idea there is that if you get educated here, we want to employ you here, type of thing. Now, with that being said, are there problems with the program? Of course. A lot of people feel that, this program does disenfranchise American workers if it's abused. Now, what does that abuse look like? That abuse can look like employers who may disproportionately hire H1B visa recipients over native-born Americans who are equally qualified. Now, the data does not support that statistic. I can't find any data that shows that that's a huge problem. But are there bad players that take advantage of that because they can save on their bottom line? Absolutely there are. Now, here's the issue for MAGA. MAGA did this unique thing where they were able to bring together AOC voters and Donald Trump voters and bring them under the same umbrella. Now, you and I both know that arrangement was never going to last long term. Like I said to you guys on TikTok, the scripture tells us that light and dark cannot dwell together. It also says, how can two walk together unless they agree? So unless you're a white supremacist, a racist, a neo-Nazi, a xenophobe, a homophobe, a transphobe, or you're just scared of black and brown people, period, you cannot be in the same coalition as people who care about healthcare, who are kind to the stranger, who welcome immigration, who come from diverse families and diverse backgrounds, whose families look like a patchwork of different cultures and identities that has become emblematic of the American experience. If you truly are a person who is for the rights of all citizens, then you cannot also be the person who pals around and cozies up to white supremacy or neo-Nazism. There's no reason why a Nick Fuentes, a Stephen Miller should be in the same party as a Mitt Romney or a Liz Cheney. It's not possible. And those of you who do find yourselves feeling bewildered, bewitched, tricked, deceived, bamboozled, you name it, you have to take a deeper look into why is it that the information that was available to some of us, where we did not find ourselves in this position being bamboozled, didn't quite land on your desk. Are you consuming media in an echo chamber? Are you being introspective? Are you verifying data that you receive? Or are you a bandwagoneer and just running to whatever sounds good and whatever tickles your fancy in the moment? We as American citizens are responsible for what we ingest and what we disseminate. It is our responsibility to know the facts. If someone tells you something, verify it. Trust, but verify. What can you do now? Well, what you can do now is pay attention. Pay attention, challenge what you're being told, and cross-reference any information you receive to make sure that multiple sources, not just your source, are speaking the same language and corroborating those details. That's what you can do. I watch Fox News, I watch MSNBC, I watch CNN, also watch programs like The Midas Touch. I also watch Luke Beasley, I watch Brian Tyler Cohen, I watch multiple streams of information, podcasts, Joe Rogan, The Breakfast Club, Native Land Podcast. I don't allow myself to receive information in an echo chamber, because when you're in an echo chamber, everything sounds true, even if it's not. Be responsible for the information you receive. Be responsible for your own knowledge. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the like button so more people can see this information and subscribe to this channel.